Listo. Phoenix Wright. Ace Attorney. Trilogy! This game I was thinking about doing for quite some time. I have text skip, screen shake, vibration, text box slow, language, Nihonjin. Oh. Actually, Nihonjin. Oh. Actually, no, Nihongo, because that's Japanese language. Nihonjin. So there's like 3 games in this. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All, and Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. So I'm going to start with the first one, because that was the very first that came out in 2001, and then the other followed. I don't know where Apollo Justice and Phoenix Wright 4 are. Like, I know there's several other Phoenix Wright games, and then there's the Daigakten Saiban game. So in Japan, this was called Gyakuten Saiban. Alright, we're gonna start off with the first game, Episode 1, The First Turnabout. I think I've actually played the third one for the very first time. I haven't even gotten to this one. So this is gonna be a bit of a new experience. Play the first turnabout? Yeah. What do we got here? Looks like Larry all freaked out with some creepy guy in the background, and who's in the foreground? I don't know. Play the first turnabout? Yes. Let's begin! What the hell trophy earned first steps? Bronze trophy. Just for starting the game. Gasp. Gasp. A dripping statue. Held by some guy with gloves. Damn it! Why me? Why you? Well, I can't get caught. Not like this. He committed a murder. He's gotta... What? I've gotta find someone to pin this on. Someone like him! I'll make it look like he did it! So he committed the murder. And he's trying to get everybody to think that he did it. Who's he? August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Phoenix. Boy, am I nervous. Why? Right, by Mia. Oh, hiya, Chief. Phew, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you, and your client as well. Thanks. Wait, how does a trial reflect your character? Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? You're emotionally compromised. Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. Maybe I'm secretly in love with him. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Who is it? Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, it's him. Death! Despair! Ah! I'm going to do it. I'm gonna die. There we go. I died. Never mind. It sounds like he wants to die. Should I help him? Yeah. There he is, that cheery, sparkly-eyed, frickin' generic anime character. Nick! Butts. Hey! Hey there, Larry. Dude! I'm so guilty! Tell them I'm guilty! Give me the death sentence! I'm afraid to die. Then why are you so ready for it? What? What's wrong, Larry? Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished! Oridata! I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Oh, wait, what? Who? Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? You have a baby? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. Because he had to be the butt end of a joke. Or maybe it's just a translation of this, because this game was originally in Japanese. And they changed a few things up a lot. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That I owe him one, which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm going to do. August 3rd, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 2. What about courtroom number 1? Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. Also, I look like Santa Claus without the hat. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Payne. The, defense is ready, Your Honor. I don't sound very confident. Ahem! Oh, I saw the buttons at the bottom. Court record and options. What did options do? I can save it right in the middle of the game? Holy shit, I can't save it. No save data. And court record. What is court record? It's exactly like that. Attorney's badge. No one believe I was a defense attorney if I didn't carry this. Cindy's autopsy report. Time of death. 7/31. What is that? June 31st? 4 to 5 p.m. Cause of death, loss of blood due to blunt trauma. Profiles. Mia Fey, age 27. Chief Attorney at Fey & Co. My boss, a very good attorney. Larry Butts, age 23. The defendant in this case, a likable guy who's been my friend since grade school. Cindy Stone, the victim in this case, a model. She lived in an apartment by herself. Winston Payne, the prosecutor for this case, lacks presence. Generally bad at getting his points across. So that's all I got is evidence. The autopsy report. Maybe that'll help me. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous. Because I'm same. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you. Arigato. Saibansho. Domo arigato. Saibansho. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. No. Hands shaking. Eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. Phoenix Wright, Larry Butts, Mia Fey. I'm pretty sure the defendant is Larry, because the newspapers say it was him. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me what's the victim's name? Cindy Stone? Let me double check. The victim in this case, model lived in the apartment by herself. It is Cindy Stone. I know this one. I just looked at it! It was Cindy Stone. Wait. Uh-oh. No! No way, I forgot! I'm drawing a total blank here! I just looked at it 2 seconds ago. Phoenix, are you actually sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim? Of course. Mochiron, I know the victim's name. I, just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court records. Just press the R1 button to check it at any time, okay? Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Mr. Wright, who's the victim in this case? Mia Fey, Cinderblock. Cinderblock? Cindy Stone. Why is Cinderblock an option on there? Cindy Stone. The victim name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? Blunt force trauma? Yeah, loss of blood due to blunt trauma. She died because she was Poison, hit with a blunt object, strangled. Hit with a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then, first a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Can you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was the statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor, next to the victim. I see. The court accepted it in evidence. Statue. A statue in the shape of the Thinker. It's rather heavy. Is there anything about this? No. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. Evidence is the only ammunition you have in the court. Use the R1 button to check the court record frequently. Oh, I will! Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Like accidentally confess. Oh, Larry gets decided easily. This could be bad. Everything could be bad. Ahem. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Weren't those both tragedies? Didn't they all die? Why did you compare yourself to all those Shakespeare characters? I wasn't dumb, she just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me, ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you described is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. How do you know she was seeing other men? She had just returned from overseas with one of the days before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies. All of it lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. Passport, United States of America. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. The victim arrived home from Paris on the day before the murder. Indeed. She appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude! No way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. Let me just... She took the money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of a woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? I would object to that because that's speculation and it has nothing to do with the case. Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I? Wait to see what happens. Stop him from answering. Objection! There's no reason to answer that. Asking the witness what his personal feelings has nothing to do with the case. My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Oof! Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog! I'm gonna die! I'm just gonna drop dead! Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm going to get to the bottom of this! I don't think you can, when you're dead. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is not looking good. It never looks good. Next question! You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder. Did you not? Gulp. Well, do you or do you not? Well, maybe I did, and maybe I didn't. Don't play politician. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? Have him answer honestly, stop him from answering... There's nothing that says I shouldn't. So... he's not gonna run his mouth off. So, have him answer honestly? I know! I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth! Yeah, I was there. I went. Order! Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, chill. She wasn't home. The hell is that? Is weird. Objection! Your Honor, the defendant is lying. How do you know? Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Really? Well, that simplifies matters. Who's your witness? The man who found the victim's body. Just before making the gruesome discovery, he saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Oh, crap. Order in the court! Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. Ooh, this is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand. Sawit? Frank Sawit? Oh, it's that guy. Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions. Is that correct? Oh yes, newspapers, yes. Not newspaper subscription. Mr. Sawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness testimony. Witness's account. I was going door to door, selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. When I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to the nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. That's a lot of information just in one. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that! Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawit used was one of those. Because he tried to use it, but Your Honor! I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Lack of record. Electricity in Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Wait, something's really off. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes? Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Alright, right, this is it. The real deal! What exactly am I supposed to do? Why? You exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? And that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find the contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness' face. Okay. Open the court record with the R1 button, then point out the contradictions in the testimony. Cross-examination. I'm baking a cake. Nice. Anyways, give me a second, I'm gonna fix some shit up. I was streaming at the moment. Want to join in? Alright, I'm gonna link everybody. Click, copy link address. Give me a second, I'll just be quick. Renate? Okay, witness's account, so cross-examination. I was going door to door, selling subscription. Present, press options. So, press, I think, is sort of like ask a question. So it's when I select this and I press, then click, hold it! Isn't a man leaving an apartment a common sight? I find it odd that you would take notice of him. I don't know. He just seems strange to me, that's all. Like he was mad, and yet frightened at the same time. How do you know he was mad and frightened? Just like a criminal fleeing the scene of a crime. So what? That could be anyway. The defense requests the witness refrain from conjecture. Of course. What the witness means is the man he saw looked suspicious. So what happened next? I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Press. Half open, you say? Yes, yes, the door was open halfway. Yes. That's a lot of yeses for a question I asked. I watched for a moment, but no one came close to the door. Except you, because you went inside. That's odd. In a big city like this, I thought. I see. And what happened next? Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment, but you said nobody came close to it. Press. What gave you the idea to do that? Well, the door was half open, you see. So I look in things that are half open. Isn't it only human to want to peek? You said no one came close. We climb mountains because they are there. It's the same thing. No, that's not. Nobody climbs Mount Everest because Mount Everest is there. Truer words have never been spoken. Anyone would look inside. Yeah, well, curiosity killed the cat. But I don't see a reason why you would. It seems like you're more interested in looking inside the apartment than Larry is. Why did Payne cut him off so quickly? So you looked into the apartment. What happened then? Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead! Shindata. Press. Are you sure she was dead? Well, no, I guess I wasn't. But, he is lying! The Ustanak, but she wasn't moving at all, and there was blood everywhere. I guess that would look fatal to anyone. Very well, what happened next? I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. Then how could you use the phone that was on the inside? So you didn't touch anything in the apartment? Yes, I mean, no, nothing. Why did you say yes and no in the same sentence? Nothing. Okay, what happened next? I thought to call the police immediately. You thought to call the police. Does that mean you didn't actually call them? Please, please, listen to the rest of the testimony. You thought to call the police. What happened next? Why is Payne stopping him? However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. Because of the blackout. And I bet he'll repeat that as soon as I press him. The phone in her apartment wasn't working. Yes, I mean no. No, it wasn't right. What? Why is he... Well, you said you didn't go into the apartment, or did you? Oh, that. Can I explain that? There was a cordless phone on the shelf in the entranceway. I reached inside and tried to using that to call. And the phone wasn't working, correct? What happened next? It was because of the blackout. I went to the nearby park and found a public phone. Why use a public phone? Well, you see, I don't have a cell phone. And being the middle of an afternoon, there was no answer in a nearby apartment. Right, what time did you call again? I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. Something is a tad off about this. Electricity building was cut from noon to 6. So, of course, that's the time when the blackout started, but the autopsy report. Time of death from 4 to 5 p.m. But he discovered the body at 1. What the hell? Objection! You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, no, because the autopsy says it was 1, and you're saying it was 4 to 5, but you're saying it was 1. Definitely hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4. There is no body, no body, to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, that! What the hell? Why does Winston Pay say, OBJECTION! This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. A 3-hour gap! No! After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sai, why were you certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Oof! Gee, that's a really good question. Come on! Spit it out! Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. Seeing through one and their whole story falls apart. Wait! I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? And the judge is not looking impressed. The time of the discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. What? Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video or tape program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. It was from a television. No, it was not, because there was a blackout. And at least according to the time which she discovered it, between noon and 6, there's no way in hell the television was on. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. I gotta find the testimony that says the television... contradiction. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a blackout! There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, was it? I guess the victim must have been watching a videotape. Back up. But it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Objection! Hold it right there! The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or video! God! Why is he lying so much to his point? Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sai? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Why would you say there was a television on? Why? Alright, someone's messaging me. Alright, for Nate, 1v1. Already live streaming at the moment. Quite. Yeah, how could you make a story like this up all of a sudden? Ah! Wait! I remember now! You remembered before, how are you... and that didn't work, how is remembering now gonna work? BRB. Mr. Stott, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. And you seem rather distraught. Yes, he is, because you're not making any sense. My apologies, Your Honor. It, must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Stott. Let's hear your testimony. Once more, please. Stop making contradictions. Hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. How do you saw it? Because your name is Mr. Saw It? There was a table clock in the apartment. Wasn't there? What? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. What? Wait, what? You saw a clock. I guess I would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly! Something's off about this. Hearing the time. He's all nervous. What the frick is up with that? Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment. Was it there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. Wait a second. Hi! Hi, Genji. How are you? There was a table clock in the apartment. The murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. So, the table clock is the murder weapon? Such it's rather heavy. Wasn't this the murder weapon? That's in the shape of a thinker. That's the murder weapon. Hey, Genji, welcome! How I don't know. He's saying... Let me just... Listen to me. Actually, I didn't hear the time I saw it. I'm gonna press him first, just to be safe. That strikes me as a very suspicious mistake. Yes, I can see how you'd be a little doubtful. I'm really sorry. I only just remembered that table clock. A table clock? There was a table clock in the apartment. Wasn't there? What? Hold it! A table clock! Was there a clock at the scene? This is the first I've heard of it. Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. The table clock is a murder weapon? The murder weapon. Yes, the table clock that was used as a weapon. That's what I just said. Did you doze off in the middle of my testimony or something? Something's fishy here. That must have been what I saw. I thought this was used as the murder weapon. Objection! Wait just a moment! The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was the statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? What? You, with your objections and your evidence, just who do you think you are? I just answered the question, Mr. Sai. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne? As the witness stated, the statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it, and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. So the prosecution knows about this. I see! So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright? It appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with this testimony now? Yeah, how did he know it was a clock? Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment, knew the victim. He actually went into the apartment. You're lying! You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it! Prove I went in there! I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Oh, now we're getting shit up in here. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sides, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Oof! Understandable, since the murder weapon just spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never... Look, the clock, I heard, no, I saw. What the hell? He threw his frickin' toupee at Phoenix. Shut up! I hate you! Daikirai! It was him! I tell you! I saw him! He killed her, and he should burn! Burn! Give him death! What the fuck? Lol. He threw his hair at Phoenix Wright. He's like, why did he do that? I don't understand. Order! Order in the court, I say! Your Honor, at a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claim. Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound of the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is running on this. I'd better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound of Mr. Saad heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply examine the clock's batteries, ask the neighbors, try sounding the clock? I don't know what the batteries have to do with that. I don't know why you would bother asking the neighbors, because they weren't around. Try sounding the clock. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. Beep. I think it's 8:25. What? That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. 8:25. What? Well, he is the thinker after all. So the statue is a clock. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. Ack! It's 3 hours off. Why is it 3 hours off? As you can see, the clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Saw heard and the actual time of death. Anime. Yes, anime. So, Mr. Saw it. Try to talk your way out of this one. You made a discrepancy, and so did the clock, so therefore what you heard was exactly from the clock. Ha ha ha! You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. What's he talking about now? While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Shit, how am I going to prove that? Damn it! I was so close! Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Cramp. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Sod. I came all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal! You lawyers are all slime. Grr, I almost had him. Sorry, Larry, I failed you. I fricked up so bad. There's nothing I can do about it now. No! Prove it by talking. Not so fast, Mr. Shot. Gee! Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think! But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow today of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? So, according to what Mia says, let's assume it was, and then figure out why. It was slow 3 hours because... Something tells me I'm going to have to find some evidence. Is there anything dealing with time? No. Anything dealing with 3 hours slow. This doesn't do anything... Doesn't prove anything... That doesn't prove anything with that. The victim apparently arrived home from Paris the day before the murder. Electricity was stones. Was it because of a blackout? No. Blackouts don't cause electronics to switch to their time to a default. The victim apparently arrived home from Paris. Does Paris have anything to do with this? Maybe. But why would Paris have anything to do with it? Because of the different time zone. Figure out the reason, and you'll have your proof. Right! Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Yes! I think I have an idea. Because the clock was set to a certain time while in Paris, and it wasn't set to the right time back in the States? Wait, maybe I can't prove it. You must have the evidence somewhere that I can prove it. Right? Find it and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you said the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. Mochiron. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. Because it was not changed after the victim came home from Paris. The passport is the evidence. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. Oh. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sot. Or should I say, Mr. Did It! Yeah. And you just get rabies and fall off the floor and somehow disappear. Order! Order, I say! He just got rabies and disappeared. Well, this case has certainly turned out quite differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness? He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well! Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Bucks, not guilty. Musai. Not Yuzai. Yuzai Shinai. Musai Tata. And with that, this court is adjourned. So you gotta think a little bit with this game. It turns out that Frank Sot was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, Nichi, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sot let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sot grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find and deadly murdered her right in the front hallway. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court number, defendant lobby 2. Whew. I still can't believe you won. Right. Good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. No, he's still the same as ever. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Oh, Nick! Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait. No! I mean, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Wendy's man, gone forever. Larry, she was a... Nah, never mind. Harry? I thought it was Larry. Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts innocent. Why? Thanks. I really owe you one. Oh, God. He's like a frickin' Joe. Whatever type of face the Japanese doll is. I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate dinner, movie, my treat. Oh, no. I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Were you gonna invite me out to dinner next? Oh, hey. Here, take this. It is a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this. Larry made the thinker. He made 2 of them. Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick, and she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you want to just cry? Stop. Larry? Are you so sure? Excuse me? I I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me, okay? Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right, Wright? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh, yeah. Right. What the heck is she talking about? Passport? This? Was that it? Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled. Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick! I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really? I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. So that's the first case. It's pretty easy. Didn't even require that much thought. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe them, you have to believe in yourself. Right. Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner on me? I thought Larry's gonna buy dinner. We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him? Yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe. Over drinks? And so, my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us, unless you count the clock he gave me." I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. The end. Ooh. I like this! Episode 2. A brand new episode has been added. Bronze trophy, the first turnabout. How many trophies are there? Oh god. Answer me a favor and ask what the defendant is. Borrow all secret weapons. Press gumshoe. Everything about marriage. Reply with a lot of heart. We're talking a lot of... Oh god. Learn all the Armstrong's fancy foreign words. Get a donut offer to Phoenix. Start playing. Yay. Get a bad ending. Get a good ending. Check out the every lunchbox and you'll star have to offer. A lawyer only cries once it's all over. Clear all of that. It's Attorney Trilogy. So there's a platinum trophy as well. Should I keep going after this? And this has been added. What? Save your progress up to this point? Yes. There we go. We're at the save data. Yes. Oh. Okay, so should I go for the new episode? Nah, I don't want to do it. I'm going to stop right here and end the live stream. So I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow to pull off another live stream. Later!